I'm Fedor Gorst. I just turned 21 and I'm the reigning world pool champion. So yeah, basically from the very beginning of my life, we had a Russian pyramid table in our house. My parents had a 9-foot Russian pyramid table at our house. So I was always around it when I was like a year, 2 year old kid, and I was always laying on the table, throwing balls around. So my father, he saw it that I liked it, and he decided to hire me a coach when I was like 6 or 7. So I tried to play Russian pyramid first, and I liked it because that's the game we play in Russia. We didn't have pool really at that time there. Well, we probably did, but I didn't know it, and my father didn't know it for sure. So I started with this game, and I had some successful matches, here and there, but I didn't really join the tournaments back then until I was 9. And I was switching coaches too. Like I was always thinking, and my father was always thinking, like, you have to be with one coach until you reach some certain level, because different coaches, they have different knowledges, and I think sometimes when you reach the limit, you have to switch to another one. It's kind of sounds very bad, but that's the truth, I think. And once we switched to another coach at the age of 9 or 10, that coach told us that we have to switch to another game. That's how I got into pool. And back then he told us that we have more potential playing pool than Russian pyramid because we can travel the world, the prize money is bigger and the game is growing itself, so you can really become a popular person. Yeah, my dad was a big figure when I was young, like a kid, but unfortunately he died when I was 13. And from there on, the biggest figure in my life was Mike Nikolaev. I have to tell you about that guy because he really changed my life. Because, well, I have to tell you this story. He was always around pool. He was a player himself too. He was always playing, Russian tournaments. He was playing Derby City Classic, Euro Tours. But he wasn't like a pro. He was semi-pro, I would say. So I was always trying to find matches in Russia, not only to practice, but also to make some money. I'll be honest. So I texted Mike, because I was thinking, well, it's a good practice and free money for me, probably. So he said, yeah, we can play for sure, because he liked me. And, well, long story short, he ended up beating me the next day, and I was super pissed. I remember that. And I don't really know if I ended up paying him, really. So the next week, I got a message from him that he wants to have a serious talk with me about some serious topic. So he didn't tell me what we are going to talk about. So I came to his shisha bar. He owns a shisha bar. And he offered me a sponsorship deal from there on. So we discussed what we should do in the next few years, how should I practice, where should I go. So basically he offered me to pay for any trip I want, and that completely changed my career from there on. Yeah, of course it affected me a lot because, I'm the only man in our family, and I had to be, how to say that, when you're like,
Like the breadwinner.
no, when you're mature, you have to be
Oh,
you have to be a super mature at the young age to not only uh, support financially your family, but also mentally. And for a young kid, it's not as easy as for an adult, I think. But it was all right. And Mike had the same issue. His dad also passed away, and I think that's why he offered me that too. Well, I can call him a best friend and the second father as well too. Well, when I was a kid, like when I was 10, 11, it was like a hobby mixed with school kind of thing. And I honestly was always watching to the better players, Back then it was Ruslan and Konstantin. They were like gods of pool for me, so I was always like thinking, well, if one day if I'll be like them, I'll be happy. I can quit. So really, since then, I'm always watching to the better players what they do and trying to just repeat and be better. Well, really, I didn't know anybody outside of Russia until I went to the European Championship or Euro Tour. Then I've seen Niels, Johan, Dutch selection. I always liked the hard workers. So that's why I think the role model for me was Niels Feyen. I don't know, I like his fundamentals, the way he does things, he's so robotic. So I just liked it, and probably I copied some things and then changed them my way. So I want to say thanks to him. Well, honestly, right now my style is just my style. But before, I agree, it was I was always trying to copy things. Like I was copying the the confidence and arrogance from Filler, and the fundamentals from Niels, and mental part from Johan. But honestly, Johan came only when I was 15. So before that, I was always trying to practice and work on my game by myself. Well, with Russian coaches too. There wasn't many setbacks in life, really. I don't think there's anything worse than losing someone from your family, really. But on the pool table, there was many, for sure. Like, for me, it works like you have to climb the stairs, like, step by step. It didn't work like that with the World Championship, obviously. But when I was playing juniors, it was always like, I'm reaching the quarterfinals, losing. Next year, I'm finishing third, and I'm always trying to do a little better, a little better. I think it was also because I was always setting goals like, if you reach the semifinals, that's enough. And I was like, well, that's fine. I'm going to be third. But really, everything changed when I won the world title. My mentality and everything changed completely. I just think different way now. I remember when I was starting to win some events, it was always people who were like, oh, you're the next best player in the world, you will be the best player in the world. But honestly, I'm always trying to listen to myself and listen to what the better players, the better knowledgeable guys talk. I don't really listen to, I can't say unknowledgeable guys, but I don't want to sound arrogant because I'm not. I don't think I'm arrogant, but no, really, I didn't have pressure because of that, because I didn't really take it seriously what everybody was saying to me. Yeah, I remember the first half of the season, I was one of the top in the rankings, and I was thinking to potentially make the team, and I really believed in that, because I think I was like third in the combined ranking, and we only had few events left. And then I had some few bad tournaments, and I didn't go to some events because I had like health issues. So I ended up losing the match to qualify to the team to Alex Kazakis. I remember that. Of course, I was super pissed, and I was thinking that's the worst year that can ever happen to me. But of course, it helped me to win the world title as well, because I was, well, obviously trying to prove that Marcus was wrong. And I don't think any bad about Marcus. I was just trying to show everybody that they missed out. I missed out. Yeah. I think it's not as hard as for any other players, because I was super young. I was 18. It doesn't really mean a lot for me to lose another event. I didn't play many of them. So of course I was sad for maybe a week or a couple of weeks, but then of course I needed to work for another event, practice. I just came back to practice and worked my ass off for another event. Yeah, I think it's completely similar situation with me and Filler, and of course it helped me because I already seen it happening. So I really came to the World 9 Ball with no expectations, really. I had a goal to reach top 16, top 8, but I wasn't planning. Of course, I was trying to imagine that I can win the tournament. You have to always visualize that you can win the tournament, because I don't see the reason to go there if you think, well, I'm not going to win the tournament. But I had a goal to go to top 8, really. I didn't plan to win the event. Really, it was far away from my best, really. Because I remember I was struggling every day, and me and Ruslan, we were always staying up late in the practice room because I was just struggling with my game and I didn't feel well. The first match I lost, and I went to qualify through the losers rounds. So every day I was always trying to improve a little better, a little better. But with the previous format, it was really all about the break. That's all I was practicing, and I think that's what favored me a little bit compared to the other players in the end. But yeah, the semifinals and finals, you can just watch them and see both players struggle, because we both were tired and there was a lot of pressure, I would say. Yeah, playing Chen Junlin in the final wasn't really intimidating because before the semifinals start, it was all Asians and me, so I knew I'm gonna play some Asian if I'm gonna win. So really, it didn't really matter. It really took a while to sink in because, I won it and then I flew to Thailand for vacation. I just enjoyed it there. And really, then I won the tournament in Greece because I was super confident, I was playing good. And then the pandemic started. And then it's tough, really. I still don't think that I'm the world champion sometimes, but I really don't know what to say. It was super tough. It was really rough, I would say, because, like I said, I think I was playing very good after that Greek tournament. I played in the Euro Tour and got third. That was the last event, I think. Maybe not. I went to Las Vegas before the World 10 Ball, and that's where everything got canceled. I was playing like very good pool for me, I think. And then everything went to lockdown, and I only had a 7-footer in my house. Obviously, I was practicing and I was hoping for everything to get back to normal, and it never did, really. After 4 or 5 months, I just tried to concentrate on something else. I was reading books, trying to stay in shape physically, and I was studying at that time too, because I had some exams. So I really wasn't paying attention to pool until June. That's when everything opened up again in Russia. So I went back to the practice table, and 2 months later, Alex Lely called me and said, you're in Mosconi. That felt great, because I felt again that, I could win a big title and be on top of the rankings, but still, I didn't know how they are going to choose the team. So I was thinking maybe I'm not going to play again. Well, I was super happy when Matchroom did that, because, looking to the previous years, it wasn't really like the World Championship, because, well, it was a good organized tournament, but like 2 years ago we were playing in a good arena with quite a good streaming, and I did like the setup, but the last event wasn't the same, really. We played in the practice room in the, like, it calls Federation Club or something, and there was no crowd. It's not the real World Championship, I would say. My dream is to play my best game in front of the crowd, and that's what every player dreams of, I think. Really, it didn't go as planned. The last few events, the World Cup of Pool, we played the first match good. It was good, really. There wasn't much pressure, and we looked solid. But the second match, pressure got us, and I think it's just the lack of that crowdy arena experience. It wasn't crowdy, but it's Metrum Arena. It's completely different to what I used to play and what my partner used to play for sure. And the Whirlpool Masters, I didn't really have much chances. It was a shorter race, and it was single individual tournament. So I just made two little mistakes and lost the match. So I didn't have many opportunities. So I just trying to stay positive and trying to be positive before another event.
Looking ahead to this event, obviously we're on the eve of the Whirlpool Championship. You know, you're going to walk out there and they're going to announce your name, Fedor Gorst, the reigning Whirlpool champion, and you're going to walk down into that arena. All the other players are going to be in the arena waiting for you to walk out. Big screen, you know, the lights, the cameras are all going to be on you. How's that going to feel for you?
I'll be proud of myself for sure. It will feel great. I'm 100% sure. Because, like I said, it's my dream to play somewhere like here, because I think it's going to be one of the greatest tournaments ever, especially for this year when there was no crowd. I think it's going to be something new for pool. I'll always just watching my group, you know, obviously I know who I play in my first match, but I never look farther than the second round maybe, because I don't see the reason really. Anything can happen, you know, I can lose, I can win. I just hope that my dream will come true and I will play my best game in front of the crowd, and I'll try my best to survive till the semifinals, and obviously it will mean a lot to me to defend the title as well.